I said, who do you think you are? Morning roundup, we've got a croissant and very rare golden retriever headset. Super annoying. This is just the problem child of S5s. Bad boy, bad. Amazingly, hot dog failed again. Oh yeah, and there's another one right there. So we are doing this again. Oh yeah, Italian hand. Here we've got a bagel. So in another, classic instance of Etsy screwing the seller, you guys might remember one of those big aliens. I mailed it to Britain. Well, anyway, tracking, looking totally normal. Buyer opens a case and I have to refund them. And it's like $300 or something. There should be a thing on Etsy where like people just can't open a case if tracking is normal. Like you shouldn't be able to open a case with Etsy if everything's normal. It just shouldn't be possible. Man, it's just ridiculous. And the other thing, FedEx charged me like $150 adjusting labels. Like, I'm not saying all of them would be perfect, but there's just no way. I'd have to get like everything wrong. See, like if you're ever wondering why I'm doing other things for income, why I'm flipping refrigerators and stuff, it's because of this. In the early days, Etsy always had its problems, but fees were like not that ridiculous. Honestly, a lot of the stuff they were doing stuff even back then. But it's like, dude, look at this. I've got a 4.8, over 5,000, closer to 6,000. Look at the amount of sales. Tons of listings. I don't think there should be a two-tiered thing on Etsy. There probably kind of is, because it sounds like a lot of people that start Etsy shops get shut down real fast. But I'm just saying, like, dude, I've probably contributed an amount of money to Etsy that could easily buy a house. Seriously. I'm sure if you add up all the Etsy fees I've ever paid, I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure you could buy a house with that. At some point, how do I not deserve to be protected from people that just open cases to get stuff for free? Or they're just dumb. It's not always people scamming you. It's like sometimes some of these people probably don't even look at the tracking. They're just like, it's not here. And that's enough. I've told this story before, but legitimately, I had a guy, man, every time I think about this, maybe I shouldn't even say it. It's gonna give me a migraine. Whatever. Longtime viewers will remember this story, but it's 100% true. I could probably look this up easily. There was a guy in Ulaanbaatar that bought, it was a token organizer from me. Yeah. And he messaged me after 2 or 3 days and was like, why isn't it here? Some of you may not remember your middle school geography, and that's fine. Ulaanbaatar is the capital of Mongolia. The craziest thing about this story isn't even that, because that's crazy. Like, it's coming from the US. He expected it in 3 days. This guy was an American. I swear to God. He was living in the American embassy, or was at, I don't know what the deal is, the embassy in Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar, and he, honest to God, expected this thing to be there in 3 days. Now, he didn't open a case. I guess I must have explained something to him, and he's like, oh, okay. Maybe he thought, like, this is like Amazon, and they have a branch everywhere. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, somebody like that should not be able to open a case. And, like, maybe you can only open a case somewhere near the delivery window. I don't know what the deal is. I've never done it. I'm just saying, like, if tracking shows everything's normal, you should not open a case, and you should not be able to open a case. Why do we even have to have this discussion? It's been almost 8 years, Etsy. Why do we have to do this? Why did I just have to refund somebody well over $300 for no reason? I've bought Etsy a house, and they can't even, like, protect me from, like, stupid cases being opened. Like, why? Why are you like this? Are you seriously not making enough money? Like, alright. Well, let's get into some other stuff. Oh yeah, I remember the whole point I was trying to make here. If you see me doing all this other stuff for money, it's because of dumb stuff like this. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this isn't that big a deal, but with the fees in particular, I'm having to charge like way more for these products than I want to at all. And then there's just ridiculous customers and stuff. I'm probably never gonna stop doing Etsy, not within the foreseeable future, but like, if they just fixed some of this stuff, maybe I wouldn't have to be doing all this crap. I'm happy to be selling fridges and driving all over the place, but it's like, I don't know. All the nonsense just adds up, and eventually good sellers just don't want to be like using your platform, Etsy, because you're ridiculous. Yeah, well, anyway. Bagels. Bagels kind of do make everything better. Blueberry bagels. Okie doke. Very quickly, we have our timer thing. Oh yeah, baby. All right, let's see what we got. Do these things come pre-fry greased? Cool, I'm glad they gave me a manual. Wasn't real sure how you do this. I legitimately feel like I'm about to put down some nuggets for 4 minutes and 25 seconds. All right, let's see if we can do a test. All right, we're doing some high-level stuff here. Some functions you do not remember from your time at McDonald's or the hot dog stand. About to put the fries under for 3 hours. All right, there we go. The flux capacitor, the thing that makes time travel possible. Where should we put this thing? I guess I'm kind of tempted to just put it right there. Sort of a natural place for it. Bam! That's gangsta. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually really satisfying. I feel like I'm like launching nukes or something. Works real easy too. You can only tell it's counting down because of the blinking, but it is. The thing that's fun is it has a reminder feature, which is like if you have to flip something over or something needs to happen halfway through, whatever it is. But yeah, man. Less than 30 bucks. You know, this is like, it's like when a puppy is adopted and some of them get bad homes and some of them get good homes. This is the best possible home this little unit ever counted on. You know, you don't have any crackheads flipping burgers, no fry grease. When I worked at Burger King, I worked with a guy that had swastikas all over his body. I don't know why, but this is making me really, really happy. We're about to do a 12-hour shift, boys. Get the bread ready. The first time I saw one of these, I was frying bread. The second time, I was scalping bread. Well, there was a whole drama with somebody in Lufkin. They had a double door black refrigerator that looked pretty good. However, they were not willing to plug it in. Basically, they had it somewhere that wasn't near a plug, which is kind of weird. It looked like it was outside somewhere. And they said something about getting an extension cord, and then they just wouldn't plug it in, and it's like, all right, that's a little suspicious. At the very least, something could have happened to it, and now it doesn't work, even if you think it initially did. So we're just not getting that one. But we've got another one lined up, and we are getting that one. And we're going back to ARP. Believe it or not, we're already returning to ARP. So let's go. ARP, ARP.
choose. Little to win, but nothing to lose.
Oh yeah.
There's a new world somewhere they call the promised land. I still need you there beside me. No matter what I do, I'll never find another you. Until my life is through, but I know I'll never find another you. When I walk through the storm, you'll be my guide, be my guide. But if I should lose your love, dear, I don't know what I'll do.
Question for JT, because he's from the big down under. The Seekers, I think they were like the biggest Australian band from the 60s, or at least for a good while they were. How much do they play the Seekers in Australia? Like, did you hear that on the radio a lot growing up? You don't really hear that too much on the oldies stations here, but I bet they were a lot bigger on the radio when you were growing up, JT. I feel it every time. Judith Durham, she actually died a couple of years ago. Just an amazing voice, man. Once in a generation.
Oh, kiss me and smile for me, 'cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. I believe in yesterday. There's a shadow hanging over me. Like to go, I don't know. He wouldn't say. Born under a bad sign.
I've been down since I began to crow.
There are glorious strikes deep.
Okay, so we are going to pick up the fridge in just a little bit, and it's possible that the new London Museum is open, so we may actually be able to go today. We'll at least try. If I remember right, it's run by volunteers, and something like it's maybe not open every day or something, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see that telegram from Hitler if it kills us.
Your life it will be. I remember Sunday morning, I would meet him at the barn. Sunday will never be the same. They'll not be back again. Sometimes I'm right, but I could be wrong. I don't believe something I saw. I'm everything people. Yeah, yeah.
All right, getting close. Mission accomplished. It's a nice deal. Real good deal, but very hot. Finna. All right, we're like 10 minutes away from New London. I would say it's open. It says this is during its open hours online. So for anybody that's a new viewer, we've been trying to look for a good opportunity to go to the New London Museum for like months now. Quick recap, you know, if it's open, I'm sure we're gonna reacquaint ourselves with this information. In the early days of natural gas, you know, as far as I know, natural gas is like odorless and colorless, I think, or pretty close to it or something. Anyway, they didn't mix anything in the early days with natural gas, and so you could have a natural gas leak and you wouldn't even know about it. So there was an incident in New London here in East Texas where like an auditorium of children blew up. Just straight up blew up like a bombing or something. And it was such a famous event that leaders from all over the world sent their condolences. It was in international news. The reporter that covered it later on said that it was the most horrific story he had ever covered, including the Vietnam War. And that reporter was Walter Cronkite. It was his first story, I think. So yeah, we've been trying to go to this museum for a while. There we go, New London. All right, we're almost here. New London. It is as small as it sounds like it is. Being here, I can tell you, it's just so bizarre to think that anything of international note ever happened here, especially almost 100 years ago. There it is, the London Museum. All right, let's see if it's open. That is the largest size. That is the largest sign for an ATM I've ever seen. very somber. Also, they have a soda fountain there, which is a little bit of a strange addition. Sounds like their football team must have been a really big deal. There was a lot of awards and memorabilia. Pretty wild stuff. Okay, so much like the other day, I lined up another item, which isn't too far from here. So that's gonna be two for Tuesday, 2 for Monday.
Now I know you're not the only starfish in the sea, and I think it's gonna be alright. Yeah, the worst is on the news. It's windy, and windy has stormy eyes, and that's the sound of life. And windy has stormy eyes. Everyone knows it's windy. The streets of the city. She sees the streets of the city.
Maybe the greatest 60s pop song of all time. Seriously. Yeah.
Triumphant human times, blue daylight in your hair. Those were the ways, yes it was. Close the door, light the light. We're staying home tonight. Then all fade away. Just leave us alone. A world of our own that no one else can share. And I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own.
His mother, whom he loves dearly, has married her dead husband's brother. Moreover, his sweetheart, Ophelia, has been acting very strangely. Or to take his own life.
To be
To be,
or
or
not,
not to be. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. 'Tis thereto, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished.
Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come must give us pause. To sleep, perchance to dream. To suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Stop number 2. Ooh, numero dos. It's even nicer than the other one. There's a little stand advertising something called Noonday Onions. Noonday Onions. Very much sounds like a 90s band. Noonday Onions and the Cotton-Eyed Quartet. These double trips do tend to kind of take up a lot of the day, which sucks. But we have enough appliances now that it's probably going to be 3 or 4 days before we have to buy anything else. Personally, I try to like list a thing per day, something like that. I think we have like 5 or 6 to take pictures of and list and do everything. I'm really happy with today's haul. Both of them were cleaner than I thought they were and bigger than I thought they were. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell in pictures, and like sometimes even seeing the dimensions don't quite say it, because you're kind of like, I'm not actually getting a tape measure out and like building a mock-up of the thing or something. We got really solid deals today. We got to see some cool stuff, and it was pretty hot, but I don't mind a little country air, that's for sure. All right, here's the most random hill I will presently be willing to die on. Hunter Green for classic cars, absolute ass. Maybe for a luxury car or something like that, but if it's a sports car, what are you doing? Red is obvious. Nice pearl white, especially with the leather seats on an old Corvette or something. That's nice. That's actually really nice. Black for an old muscle car, a classic choice. Perhaps a little cliche, but a classic choice. Blue, old metallic blue, the old Camaro blue or something like that, or Mustang blue. Another classic, almost as classic as red. Yellow, especially that desaturated 70s yellow. A totally acceptable color for a sports car. You know what, even the kind of metallic-ish metal flake brown, or that sort of caramel color, it's not great. But I've seen like an old Monte Carlo or something in that color of brown. It's not bad. Hunter green, absolute ass. Like, what are you doing? What idiot in the 70s just went on a car lot and drove off an old like Mustang in hunter green? Like, what are you doing? Why is that even an option? Hunter green is acceptable maybe for luxury cars. A Jeep. Jeeps are fine. And maybe even a truck. It's a little weird of a choice for a truck, but it's acceptable. But like, if that thing has a 454 under the hood and you're driving hunter green, like, what are you doing? That's total ass. It's just inappropriate. Don't do it. That was a mistake. A huge mistake humanity made. Complete and total ass.
Since scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised quietus make the bare bodkin, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others we know not of. When I was 21, it was a very good year. It was a very good year for city girls who lived and came undone when I was 21.
San Francisco, open your golden gates. You know nobody waits outside your door. Nacogdoches, open your golden gates. I occasionally sell a mini fridge. Wow, what a day. Ooh, man, it was warm out there. Part of me really regrets not fixing my AC, but it was going to be really expensive. I don't know. Maybe I should have just sprung for it. Whatever. We're home, and it is normal temperatures here. Join the Discord, link below. Jimmy Bones. Oh hell, I'm at work. Need to see this. Well, I hope you got a chance. JP Letty. The title of this episode made my imagination run wild. Good job. I'm a huge fan of the Morning Roundup. Well, thank you, sir. Also, JP Letty shared a song about morning roundups. Join the Discord if you want to hear it. It's a banger. Jimmy Bones. I still want a step-by-step rexplanation of the filament maker setup. I think I have done that. If you look at the episode where it says I've set up 2 filament production lines, I believe it would be in there. Man, it's probably like episode 100 to 200, somewhere in that range. But maybe we'll run over it next episode. Silver 3DP, I was unaware that you sold wooden D20s. Wow. I feel like I didn't talk about it in the last episode, but somebody gave me a 2-star review complaining that their D20 was made out of wood. I swear to God, that's real. It sounds like it would have been FedEx. It sounded like FedEx took a little longer than they wanted delivering it. So that sucks, but that happens sometimes. But their first complaint was like, oh, this is made out of wood, and they were real mad about that. So that's a first. That's almost up there with item appears to be 3D printed. I think I'm seriously going to make a coffee table book out of all of my 1- and 2-star reviews, or at least the interesting ones. Out of 5,500, how many do I probably have? It's like a 33-to-1 ratio. I should be able to do that in my head. I don't know, I think that works out to be like 150, 160, somewhere in there. That's about enough pages for a picture book. It's probably what it's gonna be at the end of this business. Just remembering the good times, but the stupid times also. Well, I love ending the day with people handing me money. Funnily enough, my price on that item was $75, and the lady comes up to me, she's like, it's $65, right? And I thought about being like, well, it says 75. But people don't buy those mini fridges very quickly. I'm selling like one every 6 months, which is why I don't buy them anymore. So I just didn't say anything. It's funny all the little habits people have around like negotiation, because for me it's just a very upfront, matter of fact thing. I'm not like trying to emotionally manipulate people or just say the perfect things. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got my spiel down and I'm good at negotiating and I know what I want and I have a good sense of what they want. I don't bother the people that aren't going to like agree on a price with me. You know, it's actually really true that good negotiation, almost none of it is talking. This is a thing, man, this is a thing I could do a whole rant about. So something I used to say all the time back in my vending business is good negotiation is preparation. Like 90% of getting a good deal on something or whatever, striking a good deal, is just the preparation. It's like when I would be the quintessential example, when somebody would be showing me their vending route and you know, I knew what I needed to see in order to pay the price they wanted. If I saw these things, it's like, all right, we're offering $1,000 less. Let me think of a real one actually. I haven't thought about my vending routes in like forever. There was one that it was mostly in Lancaster, South Carolina, and I think there was a place called like Great Falls or something that was a little farther out away from Charlotte. I think Lancaster was like a half hour away or something like that. And there were like 5 locations, mostly out in the country. I think I paid like $3,000 for it. It included, let me see, 5 locations. It included 5 machines. They were like combo machines. Normally they would go for about $300 to $400 a piece. So that's $2,000 there, but the real value, of course, is the locations. So $3,000. I want to say that I was really trying to get it for like $2,500, $2,700, but we were going to feel it out. Also, you factor in how much these locations are probably making, and people always lie about it, or they just don't know or something. Like, the reason they're selling it is because they're not a good vending businessman or woman. If they knew their numbers, they wouldn't be doing this. So my goal was to make my money back in about 6 months, sometimes 7 or 8 months if the locations are really strong. So let's see here, 2,700, 6 months. I'm just gonna do the math in real time. F it. I'm gonna risk looking stupid. 2,700 divided by 6, so 450, right? So 450, we got 5 locations. That's pretty doable. Like, that would be 90 per month a piece. It's more like 70 in a lot of these places, so that's why I was trying to kind of get a good deal. Anyway, I remember I talked them down like $500 or something like that. And I feel like I got it for about 2,500, and the machines were pretty quality, so it was like a good deal. But the thing is, like, you're not going to be able to do any of that unless you're going into the negotiation knowing all the stuff, having done all the homework, and then you add on to that all the stuff that you observed as they show you all the locations and talk to the people. You know, you can kind of ask questions to the business owners sometimes, like, oh, do people complain about the machine a lot? The other thing, a lot of these people are selling their businesses, so you can get all their like supplies and stuff. And sometimes they don't have very much, but sometimes they got like a garage and they've got a whole wall of like soda or something. That could be a few $100 easy. You just like, you think about all this stuff beforehand. That's really the art of negotiation. Or it's a lot of it. Some of it is in the moment. You're feeling out the person. You feel like they just really want to get rid of this thing, so maybe you subtract a couple $100. And so it's kind of the same thing with a lot of stuff. You know, you're doing the same thing with refrigerators. You're doing the same thing when you're like feeling out people that want to buy these things. Yeah. It's, people really think like negotiation is this skill in the moment or something, and some of it is, but a lot of the confidence that you have negotiating with people is from the fact that you thought about all this stuff beforehand. So yeah, that's a random rant, but it's very true. after a while, it's like that was the whole fun of buying vending routes, is almost just like trying to get a good deal and figuring out what a good deal even is. Most of the time I bought them, but sometimes I said no. Sometimes they'd show me this location that they're talking about, and we'd pull out 20 bucks, and it's like, dude, you said this was like a good location. What's going on? That's another thing you pay attention to, and you just subtract some money, and if they say no, walk the F away. Don't just get froggy about it. You gotta have some self-control on this. But yeah. Anyway, I'm glad I learned all those lessons. Some of that was very, very hard-won knowledge. And that's what I'm grateful for. Figuring out all the bumps in the road, all the knocks, the slings and arrows that are heir to so long life. Let me know in the comments what you are grateful for. This is the fastest growing 3D printing business show on the internet. Can't spell coffee without M3. Peace out.
Stay around you. I can't say what I need. This blinding adolescence I'm seeing to standing in a moment. What has been is cast aside, frozen there as time rode. I know that you must have died. Everything I emotions, and we're all going to die. So leave me something precious, another glimpse of light. Lions surround you. Open up your light. Time to say a Wiedersehen.